A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back in the JFSE T.S.L season number 5. It is the Panchveer CC up against the GNS Rangers, and what an excellent start this is for the GNS Rangers. Apologies for a delayed start out here in the commentary box. So 18 for 3 already, and in comes Rishabh Shah. We have seen a couple of excellent catches already, and once again, he struck the bat, a huge appeal, and the umpire sees it's angling down the leg side. So a dot delivery up against Rishabh Shah. What an excellent start. A couple of wickets already for Jaimin Mehta. 2 for 5 for him in his 1.5 overs. And already having a foothold in this game out here, the JNS Rangers. And this time he drives, and he's driven it nicely in the gap out there in the deep at deep extra cover, and a single taken gets off the mark. Rishabh. Well, they need a partnership out here, the Panchveer CC. They are struggling at the moment, 19 for 3 after 3.4 overs. Well, the JNS Rangers winning the toss and electing to field first, which was quite of a surprise because of the excellent track that is out there here for the batting. But it has been an excellent start with the ball. This time he defends it, Kunjan. So at the end of the fourth over now, it is 23 for 3. And the JNS Rangers off to a very good start here. And they would be wanting to get at least a wicket more inside this power play. They have been attacking out here. So it is going to be Abhishek Rajesh Murkar to continue in this fifth over. It's the left-hand pacer up against the right-hander, and once again driven out there in the deep on the offside. There is protection out there. Once again driven. So Kunjan on strike. He's got a boundary to his name. Once again, an excellent delivery. Chance of a run out, maybe. Well, he made it quite comfortably in the end. An early call by Rishabh to ask Kunjan to get across. Well, a big opportunity here for the GNS Rangers to try and restrict the opposition to a low total. And once again, he drives straight to the fielder. This time played uppishly and out there once again to the fielder in the deep. So not quite able to get those boundaries in inside this power play. They've already lost 3 wickets and trying to rebuild here in this innings. Only 26 on the board, and this time played in the gap. An excellent shot. That's once again done nicely by Kunjan. Another boundary for him, picking the gap to perfection, and that spoils the over for Abhishek. That makes it 7 of the over. And at the end of at the end of the fifth, now the Panchveer CC are 30 for 3. So Jaymin continuing, and why shouldn't he? He's already taken a couple of wickets. Would be wanting to add another one. Starts off by giving away a brace up against Rishabh Shah, who retains the strike. Well, 5 of 6 and 14 of 9 for Rishabh and Kunjan respectively, and both are starting to look good. This time shot and in the air and over the fielder inside the circle. And they are wanting to come back for the second, and the throw is a very good one, but still he makes it quite comfortably in the end. A couple of more runs for Rishabh, and the Panchveer CC all of a sudden are going along nicely here. And once again shot, and this time pulled and pulled nicely along the carpet, and a boundary for Rishabh this time. All of a sudden getting some runs out here, the Panchveer Cricket Club, and getting back into this one. Well, it's always too early to call out if any team has been taken aback, but all of a sudden this partnership looking really nice. 38 for 3 now inside this power play. Maybe they have lost a wicket too many, but getting these crucial runs inside this power play. So how does Jamin respond to that boundary? And this time driven, and once again played straight to the fielder out there. Well, the field has been set perfectly to stop that boundary. On quite a few occasions, we have seen a single and double being taken there. But now there is a change in the field. Now the field has been pushed back on this leg side. Jamin may be just playing with the head of the batsman, maybe asking him to drive once again, or maybe he's going to bowl a short delivery where he will be wanting to pull towards the leg side. So only two fielders outside the circle, and there is a deep backward square leg and a deep mid wicket. And this time picked up, and he will beat the fielder out there at deep mid wicket. That's another boundary for Kunjan. What an excellent over this is so far. 13 have come of it. And the Panchveer Cricket Club, well, they're right back into this one. 43 for 3 now. Playing that one perfectly through the cow corner region. And the fielder at deep mid wicket had no chance to stop that one. And this time he defends it nicely. So a dot to end the over. And at the end of the sixth over, now it is 43 for 3. So the fielding restrictions have now been uplifted. 43 for 3 after the first 6 overs. Now there will be 5 fielders allowed outside the inner ring. And there is a third man out there, along with a deep extra cover, long off, long on, and a deep square leg. Well, a deep square leg who is slightly in front of square, more like a sweeper. And this time driven. And once again, straight to the fielder out there at long off. This partnership really growing very nicely here for the Panchveer Cricket Club. Just what they needed. The projected score of 143, and they would be wanting to get a bit more. This is a smaller ground, shorter boundaries, and the flat is extremely, and the pitch is extremely flat. Very good to bat on. Once again, just nudged on this leg side, and this time a single taken towards the fielder at backward square leg. Once again played on this leg side, another single taken. And this time a swing and a miss. So a dot delivery. It's been a while since we have seen one. Well, they were struggling at one stage, 23 for 3. This partnership now worth 23 between Gunjan and Rishabh. And another swing and a miss. An excellent delivery outside the off stump on this occasion. And the dot count keeps on increasing. Well, a couple of tight overs once again will put the pressure back on the batting side. And this time just past the outside edge. Well, 3 consecutive dot deliveries, and all of a sudden, Kunjan just cannot get his bat to the ball. And at the end of the 7th over, now it is 46 for 3, only 3 coming off that one. So a change in the bowling. Time for some spin out here. And gets off the mark of the very first delivery. It is Akash Patricks who is continuing here in this 8th over. And this time played on the offside for a single. Well, this is an excellent comeback by the Panchveer Cricket Club in the context of the game. And this time it struck the pad, but too high, definitely. Even the bowler not interested in appealing. Once again played along the carpet. Well, they ran a couple of runs on that occasion, so that couple will bring up the 50 as well for the Panchveer Cricket Club. 50 for 3 after 7.4. And this time in the air and a simple catch. And it was a shorter one on this occasion. And Rishabh Shah, well, he wanted to take the big heave through that offside. And finally, they have broken this partnership. And it's 50 for 4 now after 7.5 overs. Excellent piece of bowling by Akash Patricks. So in comes Sarvaiya at number 6. Well, everything happening in the favor of the JNS Rangers in this game so far. Well, Kunjan holds the key here in this batting lineup. Starts off with a thick outside edge and a bit of a mix up, but he gets back in time here. Kunjan, that time played towards the fielder out there at short third and a dot to end the over. At the end of the eighth over, now it is 50 for 4. So it is going to be Nikhil Pagdhare to continue in this ninth over. And Kunjan at the moment 20 of 16 stranded, losing partners at the other end consecutively. Well, once again, they need to try and build a partnership out here. It's not quite working out here for the Panchveer Cricket Club. Losing the toss, being put into bat, and it's in the air. What a chance! And he couldn't quite get underneath it. It's gone right through. It's gone away to the fence. Well, that could have been the big weight of Kunjan, and all of a sudden, a big shot in by Kunjan. He was feeling the pressure, and he's got a boundary. Well, it was very risky, but somehow he survives and manages to get a boundary here for his side. This time the ball is skidding through the surface and played on this leg side for a single. No one inside the circle in front of square on this leg side and taking full advantage of it. And the bowler does well in the end to give away just a single. And once again, the ball is skidding through the surface, and he's run really well, Sarvaiya, there to get us back to that one. Had he missed it, he was totally plumb. Well, six have come off the over already, and Kunjan back on strike, who went for the big heave towards that leg side on the very first delivery. Once again, just nudged on the offside, this time straight to the fielder. Once again, playing it on the offside. There is a huge gap out there. The fielder is getting across, and he does well to get across. And a couple of more runs taken, played nicely in the gap by Kunjan. But he's batting out superbly out there. 27 of 20 now for him. He holds the key here in this first innings. And this time he beats the batter, wanting to cut that one on the offside. and a dot to end the over. 8 coming off that one, and at the end of the ninth over, now it is 58 for 4. Well, Akash Patrick's into his second over. He's got the breakthrough, and now a couple of dots up against Sarvaiya. This time nudged on the leg side, and the fielder couldn't quite collect it at the first course. So a single, rotating the strike on this occasion, and he gets Kunjan back on strike. And another dot delivery. So very nice little tight over this for the JNS Rangers, and continuing to apply the pressure on the batting side. Once again slightly short and cut nicely, and once again straight to the fielder. Another dot delivery. That's the fourth dot delivery also, where only one have come off it. Can he close it out here? Akash Patrick's Kunjan on strike, and something has to give in here. It seems like he would be wanting to go for the big one, and he's exactly done that, but not quite able to find the gap, and a misfield. It will allow the ball to go away to the fence. That will spoil the over for Akash Patricks. That will make it 5 of the over. And at the end of the 10th, now it is 63 for 4, and the umpires have called for drinks. Right then, we are back here after this drinks break. 63 for 4, the Panchveer Cricket Club trying to rebuild their innings. At the moment, Kunjan holding the key, 31 of just 24 for him. He's played an outstanding hand out here, but he's got a lifeline as well, you would feel. A missed chance in the ninth over. Well, Nikhil will continue and a change of ends as well. And just past the outside edge once again. Well, Sarvaiya struggling at the moment out there, 2 of 6. This time cut away, and the fielder does really well there out there at short third. A quick collect and a throw. So Kunjan taking his time out there after the change of ends, wanting to resettle himself. And straight away he's gone for the big one. And what a chance and what a catch! Another superb take. It's him again. He's already taken a couple of great catches. That's the third one, and that's the big wicket of Kunjan. Well, not really sure if that was required at this stage of the game. And the Panchveer Cricket Club have lost half their side now, 64 for 5 after 10 and a half overs, and Nikhil gets the breakthrough. Well, how often do we see a wicket falling right after the drinks break? And that's exactly what has happened. Once again, a shift in momentum for the batter. So it is going to be Viral Dodia who comes in here at number 7. Well, 64 for 5. Once again, trying to rebuild here, but it's not quite working out here for the Panchveer Cricket Club. Well, it was a collapse at the start of the innings, but there was a decent enough partnership for the fourth wicket, and Kunjan played out an important hand, but even he has perished now. And with still 9.5 more overs left, still quite a long way to go in this innings, they need to try and make sure that they stick around and don't get bowled out here. What a massive opportunity, meanwhile, for the JNS Rangers to really put a foothold. And they will also be aware that winning is not only important, winning by a good margin is also important. It is not only a statement for the other teams, but it is also something that enhances the net run rate. As we all know, the net run rate can be very crucial in this tournament, the Super League season number 5. How often do we see similar number of teams out there on similar number of points. Once again, another single taken, gets off the mark of his second delivery. Viral Dodia, and he brings Sarvaiya back on strike. Sarvaiya 3 of just 7, and this is really a massive opportunity for the JNS Rangers. Will be important for them to try and keep on continuing in this attacking fashion. This time tucked away on this leg side, but only a single. The fielder as well. So a single to end the over at the end of the 11th, just not allowing the batting side to get any kind of runs. And this time a full toss, and it's been dispatched. Well, that's exactly what we were talking about. Applying that pressure, and all of a sudden, a full toss just releases everything. A 6 off the bat of Sarvaiya. An excellent stroke through the mid wicket region, went over the fielder at deep mid wicket, and breaking the shackles finally. That will help them, and that will help them grow in some confidence as well, especially Sarvaiya, who was struggling out there. Now moves on to 10 of 10 deliveries, striking at a runner ball. This time cut away straight to the fielder. Another single taken. Once again played that one in the air and falling short of the fielder out there at long on. Well, he's taken some excellent catches already today. Well, one of them was an excellent special one when he was out there at long on, and he did extremely well to hold on to it, and his balance wasn't quite there, and just giving the catch to his partner who was out there at long off before he could go over the ropes. This time played on the offside, nothing more than a single. So 89 for 5 now, and this partnership going along nicely. Akash Patrick's into his third over. And this time hit hard. What an excellent shot. And the ball will find the fence. Won't be able to cut that one off. Beautifully played by Viral. And once again played uppishly. This time played down the ground towards the fielder at long gone. And they are wanting to come back for the second, and they make it quite comfortably. Excellent running between the wickets. It was just a look in the eye of the partner, and he got back well. And this time it struck the pad, a huge appeal, and the umpire says it's going down the leg. So 99 for 6. And another one, another huge appeal, and another one gone. 2 and 2 for Simab Khan. He's on a roll out here. That's his third one. And the Panchveer Cricket Club once again another collapse out here. 99 for 7 now after 14.4. And Simab Khan will be on a hat trick. It's a golden duck out there. So it will be Ritin Mehta who will come in here at number 9. And what an opportunity this is for Simab Khan to get a hat trick. 99 for 7. 2 and 2 for Simab Khan, and Ritin Mehta. Well, the first task for him is to keep the hat trick away. Well, is the field going to close in? Well, it has slightly. Every single fielder has taken a couple of steps inside. What a massive opportunity this is for Simab Khan to get a hat trick for himself. So only three fielders outside the inner ring now. There is a long off, long on, and a deep mid wicket. Only if Ritin Mehta decides to go for the big one. Other than that, everyone inside the circle hoping for a leading edge. And there is a fly slip as well. So you would assume that might be a quicker one by Simab Khan. Here we go, hat trick ball. And he's gone right through and almost finds the off stump. What an excellent delivery. Very close to castling him. And a dot delivery for Simab Khan. He misses out on the hat trick. But it was a very close one. And this time he defends it. Ritain Mehta well in an unusual fashion. And at the moment, the Panchveer Cricket Club, they are stuck at 99. At the end of the 15th, it is 99 for 7. So Akash Patrick's continuing this time in the air, and it won't quite carry out there to the fielder. And a single taken by Vidal. That single will bring up the 100 for the Panchveer Cricket Club. 100 for 7 after 15.1. Well, they are in huge trouble, but they will be mightily relieved to reach this 100 mark. How many more can they get from here on? Still 29 more deliveries left in this innings. Well, they were eyeing at 150 before the previous over. And now Akash Patrick's into his final over. Well, Simab Khan, he's done really well. Bowled superbly throughout. He's got 3 wickets. He's got one more over left. You would assume that that would be the next one. And brings Ritain Mehta on strike. And once again, uppish. And once again, into no man's land. And a single taken. Gets off the mark of his third delivery, Ritain Mehta. Well, not quite able to get that 8th wicket here at the moment. Continuing to attack the JNS Rangers. Trying to restrict the opposition to a low total. And this time the ball skidding through the surface. And a single taken out there at long on. So 3 singles of the over. And Ritin Mehta back on strike. An opportunity for Akash Patricks. Defends it nicely. Well, the Panchveer Cricket Club in huge trouble in this game. They have been so right from the word go. A couple of times maybe they threatened to get back into it, but not quite able to get along. This time played straight to Simab Khan. Another dot delivery. Excellent bit of bowling this. Just 3 conceded. Heading into the final delivery off his spell. Akash Patricks 1 for 22 in his 3.5. And it's gone past the outside edge. And gone straight to the fielder out there at short third. So another dot to end the over. three consecutive, and at the end of the 16th, now it is 102 for 7 for the Panchveer Cricket Club. So Simab Khan is going to continue in this 17th over. 102 for 7. And how would he love to add another one in his spell? He's got a 3 for 15 in his 3, heading into his final over of the innings. And Viral Dodia at the moment of on 19 holds the key in these final 4 overs. He needs to play till the end to try and get his side to a competitive total. On the other hand, Simab Khan would be wanting to go right through him. Here we go then. Start of the 17th over. And played down the ground for a single towards long off. And he's made a total mess of that. Would you believe it? That's the third time that has happened in this innings. Another misfield. Well, it was a consolation collection out there at long off, and he's made a total mess of that one and a boundary, which will keep Wheel not only on strike but also give him additional 3 runs. Well, once again, Simab Khan just unhappy, and on a couple of occasions now, Viral has been very lucky up against Simab Khan. There was a chance dropped, and this time played in the air, and it's in the gap once again. Is it? Well, not quite so. The fielder does get across this time, and he does well to stop that one. So a single and brings Retain on strike. Well, this is what Simab Khan was waiting for, wanting to bowl to the batter coming in at number 9. He's got only the 1 run of the 6 deliveries. So what does Simab Khan bowl now up against the tail ender? Well, he's got the field up once again, wanting to attack. He wants another one. He's not quite done. He's hungry for more. This time played back to him and a bit of a misfield, but the ball won't quite run away. Another dot for Simab Khan. And once again, just past the outside edge. Excellent stuff, this. And this time he's gone for the big swing and he's missed out. And almost the ball going on to hit the stumps off his own pad. And 3 consecutive dot deliveries for Simab Khan. He's got just the one more delivery left. Well, something has to give in on this delivery. Viral wanting to have a word with his partner. Well, Viral must be telling him that he wants him to stay. He wants Simab Khan to be bowled out so that he can launch in the last 3 overs. Well, Viral does not want to run out of partners at the moment and wanting to make sure that his side plays out the 20 overs. And once again hits the pad and the ball just moves away on the leg side and they don't get across for a single, and rightly so. Weedle will keep the strike for the 18th over. At the end of the 17th, now it is 107 for 7, and Simab Khan, what an outstanding spell. 4 overs, 3 for 20 for him. So it is going to be Abhishek to continue in this 18th over. 2 was none for 10 for him, and he will come around the wicket to the left hand of Viral. Well, 3 more overs left, and Viral would be wanting to keep most of the strike. He would be wanting to face at least 12 of the 18 deliveries remaining. And it's been played down the ground and nicely fielded off his own bowling by Abhishek. A dot to start with. Well, Viral won't mind that if he would be wanting to continue and wanting to get those boundaries in. Maybe it is time to refuse those singles and try and keep the strike and try and get those boundaries in. A couple of boundaries in each over will get them to a respectable total out here. And that's exactly what he was looking for, but this time he's not quite got the distance and he couldn't quite hold on to it. Another lucky break for Viral Dodia and a couple of runs. He will keep the strike once again. Well, it's all happening out here in the favor of Viral Dodia. Another chance drop. That's the second time he's been dropped. And he's gone for it once again. And once again, it stood up in the air, but it will land safely. Well, the luck is totally on his side today. The fortune favoring the brave. And a couple of more runs taken, and the score moves on to Nelson. 111 for 7 now. Well, he wants to try and maintain the strike, and he's got a couple of braces of the second and the third delivery of the over. So the intention is clear, wanting to go for the big one. He's gone for the big one on a couple of occasions, couldn't quite get the middle. This time a slow one, and once again picked up. And this time the long on fielder is extremely wide, and it's gone all the way. It's a 6. Finally, that's the first 6 of this innings. It's been a while. It's in the 18th over. A wide down the leg side. So some runs out here in this over. 11 of the overall. So in comes Nimesh Doshi coming in here at number 11, but he will be at the non-striker's end because of the run out. And straight away played in the air by Ritin Mehta. It stood up and he couldn't quite judge it, the fielder there, and he's made a total mess of it, and the ball has gone away to the fence. My word, it's all happening out there. The fielder couldn't quite judge it. The eyes were right into the sun. And a boundary for Ritin Mehta. Well, he's taken 11 deliveries to score that one run, and now he gets a 4 for himself. And Nikhil Pagare, well, not quite impressed at all with his fielder. Well, they've missed quite a few chances as well here, the JNS Rangers. And you would believe, had they taken those chances, where would the Panchveer Cricket Club would have been in this innings? Well, only 8 more deliveries left now in this innings, and for the first time we will see Nimesh Doshi on strike. Comes in here at number 11. And it's played straight to the fielder out there on the offside, and once again a mix-up. A total mix-up between the two. That's the third time that single has been refused. Well, it's all happening out there here at the Dilip Vingsarkar Cricket Academy. And it seems like Ritin Mehta is in some pain out there. And this time played in the air and finds the fielder out there at long off, and another misfield. What's happening out there with the JNS Rangers? That's another boundary given away that should have been only a single. And more runs here for the Panchveer Cricket Club. They move on to 129 for 9. Well, had the fielding been up to the mark for the GNS Rangers, they would have been struggling out here. to even get to that 100 mark. But nonetheless, it's 129 for 9 heading into the final over of the innings. And these two would be wanting to add at least another 10 from here on. One boundary gets them to that 10-run mark, a boundary and those singles. Can they do it? That over finishes the spell for Nikhil as well. Nikhil 1 for 27 in his 4. He did well, kept things tight, apart from that last over where a couple of misfields costed him. And Abhishek continuing, and he's gone right through. Well, that is exactly what they wanted. They are cleaned up here, the Panchveer club. They are bowled out for 129, and the target for them, for the JNS Rangers, will be 130 when they come out to bat. Well, maybe just not enough out here at the Didip Saga Cricket Academy, but that will be the end of the first innings, and we will be back for the chase on the other side. Right then, we are back here for the chase. The target 130, and what an excellent start this is by Ritin Mehta getting a wicket of the very first delivery, and straight away in comes Neil Parekh. Well, they need early wickets here if they want to give themselves any chance here. The Panchveer Cricket Club, this time a thick inside edge, a superb start this. On the other hand, the JNS Rangers would be thinking that 130 should be easy to get. Well, we might be in for a low scoring thriller here. And once again, beating the batter, an excellent delivery. That's three consecutive dot deliveries, and one of them has been a wicket. Once again, very close to finding the outside edge. And once again, another chance gone. This time the ball will race away to the fence. And finally, they get off the mark. It's Neil Parekh who gets off the mark of the fourth delivery, a boundary for him. So 4 for 1, and a change of angle for Ritin Mehta. This time played through the gap on the offside, takes the single. So he brings Shakti on strike and he defends it of the very first delivery. So at the end of the first over now, it is 5 for 1. A decent start this for the Panchveer Cricket Club trying to stay in this game. Well, the JNS Rangers were hoping for something different. This time, a wide delivery signaled by the umpire Taure on that occasion. And the scoreboard moving on here for the JNS Rangers. Once again, wanting to cut that one. This time, just inside the tram line. Where the umpire had a long thought about that one and he keeps his hands towards himself. This time cut away, but straight to the fielder. While trying to apply some pressure here, the Panchveer Cricket Club on the JNS Rangers. That is what they have to do inside this power play. They've got one wicket and need at least a couple more inside the first 6 overs. This time tucked away on the leg side for a single. Nicely punched, pushed rather. So it brings Shakti back on strike, who is yet to get off the mark here. And he's played that one on the offside for a single. He gets off the mark just of his second delivery. A good looking shot. A man who is looking in confidence out here for the JNS Rangers. And this time played nicely. And the ball will run away to the fence. An excellent shot by Neil Parekh. That's the second boundary. And showing some class out here with the bat. Well, they are into the double figures already now, the JNS Rangers. And going along nicely after losing that early wicket. And once again he drives and he beats the fielder inside the circle. He will get a single towards the fielder out there at long off, and a single to end the over at the end of the second over. Now it is 13 for 1 for the JNS Rangers. Ritin Mehta will continue. And what a good looking shot that is. It's been picked up over the infield. Well, the chase is on, and it seems like the ball will find the fence. Well, not quite so. He's done really well to stop that one. And they get across for a couple of runs. Good bit of fielding out there in the deep. Well, not quite getting that boundary in Neil Parekh. He's got a couple already to his name. That was an excellent shot. Nicely picked up. This time pushed back on this offside. And this time in the air. Is that a chance for a catch? Well, not quite so. It's gone just over the fielder out there at mid on. And the ball in the end trickles away to the fence. Well, the fielder thought that he was in play for a second. Well, not quite so. He couldn't quite judge it. And another boundary for Neil Parekh. Moves on to 17. 17 of just 12 deliveries. And already his third boundary. An excellent shot once again through this leg side. And it seems like the angle is helping out the batter, Neil Parekh, with Ritin Mehta bowling into the pads. And he's just flicking those ones over the infield on the leg side. So now a change in the field. There is a long on instead of a long off for exactly the same delivery. And they will be hoping for something similar. Well, it is a long on which is slightly wider. Exactly what they needed. And this time short, and it's been pulled. And once again over the infield, another boundary for Neil Parekh. That's his fourth boundary. He's dealing in fours at the moment, playing an outstanding hand out here for the JNS Rangers. So now a change of angle. He's coming over the wicket at a much better length, just not allowing Neil Parekh to pick this one up. Well, that is what was required, to be fair, by Ritin Mehta. The change of angle, just not allowing Neil Parekh to free his arms on this leg side. Otherwise, he was offered a plenty of room. Room on the offside. Well, not the line that he wanted to bowl, but there is protection out there in the deep. The deep extra cover fielder collects that one, and a single taken. So at the end of the third over, now it is 24 for 1. So Nimesh Toshi continuing, and this time played superbly well past the fielder at short third, and another boundary for Neil Parekh. He's turned the heat. How classically is that one played? So another change in the field. This time the short third fielder is much more finer and trying to cover that gap. So what does Neil Parekh do? Well, he wants to cut that one and he misses out. Well, it wasn't the best of the deliveries, and Neil Parekh will feel that he's missed out on that one. But that will allow the bowler also to have some confidence. And this time he drives. Once again, the fielder covers that one out there in the deep. Well, the field has been set for that itself. And another single taken. So that brings Shakti back on strike. Shakti, who has faced just the two deliveries so far, would you believe it? He came out to open the innings, and 3.5 overs and still faced only the two deliveries. He's been at the non-strikers end for the maximum of this innings. He's got just the one run to himself. And he stuck this one away, and an excellent shot behind square. No one out there on this leg side. Bowled onto the pads. A huge mistake by Nimesh. And a boundary for Shakti on this occasion. And now they need less than 100 as well. Just 97 more required. 97 required of 98 deliveries. Less than a runner ball as well for the JNS Rangers. Cruising at the moment in this chase. Well, they lost a wicket of the very first delivery. But they have come back really well here. This partnership worth 33 now. 33 of just 21 deliveries. And making full use of these power play overs. And this time short and cut away. But once again, the fielder will he get across? Well, not quite so on this occasion. An excellent shot by Shakti. That's back to back boundaries for him. An excellent square cut on that occasion. And the runs are flowing out here for the JNS Rangers at the Dilip Saka Cricket Academy. And this time a much better line and length, and he just tucks it away on the leg side, takes the single, keeps the strike. And at the end of the fourth over, now it is 38 for 1 for the JNS Rangers. So Kunjan comes into bowl this fifth over. Kunjan, who made that 31, 31 of 24, who held the innings together in the first 10 for the Panchveer Cricket Club, and what an excellent start that is for him. He's gone right through him and just walks off nonchalantly. The middle stump is off the ground, and he's got the wicket of Shakti. Shakti departs here for 10. An outstanding delivery. 38 for 2 now, the JNS Rangers. And the second breakthrough for the Panchveer Cricket Club. They will need quite a few more if they want to stay in this game. So in comes Simab Khan at number 4. Well, the man who took 3 wickets early on has come into bat here. Just the 92 more needed for the JNS Rangers, 92 from 95. But a couple of more wickets here once again pegs things back a little in this game. And Kunjan with an excellent start to his spell, a wicket of his very first delivery, castling the batter, uprooting the middle stump. And this time a wide delivery down the leg side. Another dot delivery for Kunjan. Once again, it struck the pad and a huge appeal. Well, not quite given by the umpire. Everyone was interested. They are in search for wickets here, and that could have been another one for the Panchveer Cricket Club. And this time it's gone behind square and it will race away to the fence. A boundary for Simab Khan. He gets off the mark of his fourth delivery. And that just spoils the over for Kunjan. It was an excellent over so far up until then. It's still not a bad one, but a boundary. So heading into the final over of this power play, Viral Dodia will continue. 5 overs, 45 for 2. And once again he tries, but this time played out to the fielder at long off. A single taken that brings up the 50 for the JNS Rangers. 50 for 2 after 5.5 overs, and only 80 more required for them. This time played straight to the fielder, a bit of a misfield, and they had decided initially to not run for it, and they continue to maintain that. A dot delivery for Viral Dodia. Once again driven straight to the fielder. Let's So a couple of runs taken on this occasion. Continuing after the end of the power play, the fielding restrictions have now been uplifted. So five fielders allowed outside the inner ring. But in fact, just a single taken on that occasion and brings Khan back on strike up against Kunjan. Kunjan, who started off superbly, getting a wicket of his very first delivery. He's batted well as well today, scored the 31. He's had a good game, but he needs some support from his teammates as well. Just the 79 more needed for the JNS Rangers. This time pushed on this offside, takes the single once again. This time picked in the air on the leg side, and another single taken. So dealing in singles at the moment, not wanting to take any additional risks, coasting along in this chase. The JNS Rangers. And this time picked up, and what a good shot that is! It's gone away to the fence once again, one bounce and over the ropes. An excellent shot by Simab Khan, playing that one in the gap and showing exactly why he has come up at number 4. And this time defended off the back foot, so a dot to end the over. And at the end of the 7th, now it is 61 for 2. So Viral, though, they are continuing, and he bowls a dot delivery first up. With only 69 more required, 69 from 77 should be light work for the JNS Rangers. It has been an excellent start for them with the bat. They might have lost a wicket of the very first delivery. And this time cut away on the offside. And once again driven, and driven nicely along the carpet. And on this occasion, a thick inside edge. And another swing and a miss. And well, if it's even missed the wicket keeper, and the ball has gone away to the fence. 4 byes for the JNS Rangers, and now they have more than half the runs of what were required. And this time charging down the wicket and playing it inside out. An excellent stroke by Neil Parekh once again. That's another boundary for him. That's his 7th boundary now. And at the end of the 8th over, now it is 71 for 2. Only 59 more required for the batting side. So 59 required from 72, and it's going to be Mayur to continue in this 9th over. Another left arm bowler. Well, nothing seems to be going in the way of the Panchveer Cricket Club in this game. He starts off with a wide, is it? Yes, given in the end by the umpire. And that's another wide. So not the best of the starts this for Mayur Shah. and that will be 3 consecutive wides. So the scoreboard just keeps on ticking for the JNS Rangers. A bit sloppy out there, Mayur. And this time he drives. And a misfield. Will that go away to the fence? Yes, it does. Once again, sloppy bit of fielding. And another boundary for Simab Khan. Moves on to 20 of just 14. This time hit hard down the ground. And he finds the fielder out there in the deep at long on. A single taken. This time a wide delivery. That's the fourth wide of the over already. He's given away 9 runs of the first two deliveries. And now they need exactly 50 more to win, the JNS Rangers. And that's another wide delivery. That's his fifth wide already. Would you believe it? He's bowled 7 deliveries in this over and only 2 of them have counted. He's really struggling out here, Mayur. This time a thick outside edge. Once again, straight to the fielder. So a rare dot delivery in this over. And that is another wide. Well, sixth wide of the over. The runs have kept on flowing in this over. Already 11 of it. And this time in the air, and it will go over the fielder. Out there at long on, a 6 for Neil Parekh. That's the first one of this innings, and just the second 6 of the day. Well, earlier it was Viral who hit one for the Panchveer Cricket Club, and now it is Neil Parekh. He's played an outstanding hand out here. He's hit 7 fours and a 6 now in his 45 over just 30, striking at 150. Once again, charging down the wicket, wanting to go big. Doesn't quite get the middle of the bat, but it's been played into the gap, and a couple of more runs. Well, not sure if Mayur is going to get another over after this one. He's bowled 6 wides and given away 19 in this over. Still one more to come. This time wanting to cut it away, but a dot delivery. So a good end finally for Mayur. 19 coming off that one, and at the end of the ninth over, now it is 90 for 2. 40 more required of the remaining 11 overs. So Viral continuing, and he starts off with a dot delivery, a swing and a miss. Well, just the 40 more required, and these two are doing it nicely here for the JNS Rangers. Especially Neil Parekh, 47 of 32. This time just past the outside edge. A couple of dot deliveries for Viral. And three consecutive dots. He's beaten Simab on all three occasions. Excellent bit of bowling this by Viral. 2.3 overs, none for 11. It's excellent in the context of the game, keeping things nice and tidy. But he needed some support out here. We have seen a couple of decent performances out here from the Panchveer Cricket Club camp, but still not quite enough in this game, with the JNS Rangers having a foothold in it already, making light work of this chase. Just 40 more needed now of 62 deliveries. And this time the ball skids through, and he's picked this one up ever so well. Simab Khan, an excellent shot through this leg side, and taking back those runs for all the dot deliveries that were bowled. Gets a boundary and spoils the over for Viral. Four of it, one more to come. And this time he leaves it alone. So another dot to end the over. And at the end of the 10th over, now it is 94 for 2. Only 36 more required for the JNS Rangers. And the umpires, it seems like they have called for drinks once again. So Kunjan is going to continue. Just the 36 more needed for the JNS Rangers. Well, Kunjan has already got a wicket to his name. He got the wicket of Shakti. And straight away played nicely. And he should stop that one, and he does well. Good bit of footwork out there. Excellent bit of fielding. And a couple of more runs taken by Neil Parekh. Moves on to 49 with that. 49 of just 33. And this time a thick inside edge, straight to the fielder. This time a swing and a miss, and given as a wide by the umpire. So a change of pair of gloves for Simab Khan. And this time played nicely on the offside, and he gets his half century. An excellent innings by Neil Parekh. 50 of just 35 deliveries, acknowledging his teammates who are giving him an standing ovation out here, with just 32 more needed. Well, Neil Parekh came in just on the second delivery of this innings. Came in here at number 3 and just kept on smashing the ball around. 7 fours and 1 6 in that 50. And this time nicely driven, but straight to the fielder. And this time a swing and a miss. It's been an excellent over this by Kunjan. 5 of it already. One more to come. And this time played in the gap. And an excellent shot. That boundary will bring up the 100 for the JNS Rangers. 103 for 2, and that will make it 9 of the over. And at the end of the 11th now, it is 103 for 2, just 27 more needed. for the JNS Rangers. So Rahul Thakkar will continue. It's been played on the leg side for a single by Simap Khan, and he brings Neil Parekh back on strike. Just 26 more needed. Well, less than 3 and over required now. 2.94 to be exact. And with 8 wickets intact, you would feel that the match is already won here for the JNS Rangers. It's a mere formality left out. Once again played on the slick side, this time refusing the single there, Neil Parekh. And this time played along the carpet, and it's gone right through. It's gone to the fence. Once again, a sloppy bit of fielding, and that brings the target down to just 22 more needed for the JNS Rangers. And this time picked up. What a good stroke that is. That's the second six of the innings, and a second six by Neil Parekh. It seems like he wants to get these runs down ever so quickly now. Just 16 more needed. An excellent shot through this leg side. This time finding an inside edge and getting across for a single. Rahul Thakkar feels that was very close. It's not even an inside edge. It's been given as a bye by the umpire. So just 15 more needed, and Simap Khan back on strike. Well, we have seen some very good shots by Neil Parekh in this game, and he's run away with it, to be fair. It's been a brilliant innings. Once again, Simab Khan just playing that one on the offside, takes the single. So at the end of the 12th over now, it is 116 for 2, just 14 more needed for the JNS Rangers. So Viral continuing, and this time played behind square. An excellent shot once again by Simab Khan. That's the second time he's done that. And another boundary, moves on to 32. And just 10 more needed for the JNS Rangers. Wonderful bit of placement out there by Simab Khan. And Simab Khan, well, he can do it in two shots from here on. This is a commanding victory for the JNS Rangers. This time he leaves it alone, and the wicketkeeper couldn't quite collect it. A single taken, getting across for a bye, and now they need is single digits, just 9 more needed. And what an opportunity for Neil Parekh to finish it off in the next two deliveries if he wants to. He's played an outstanding hand out here, 64 not out with his 41. The only half centurion in this game. This time hit hard down the ground, but protection out there at long off. So 8 more needed now. And this time an appeal, and well, the umpire is not interested. A huge appeal, they were all excited. And once again played straight to the fielder on the offside. So at the end of the 13th over, it is 122 for 2, still 8 more needed for the JNS Rangers. So Viral Dodia finishes his spell, 4 overs, none for 20 for him. You must say that's a decent spell enough, considering that the opposition has been going at 9.3 at an over. He's given away runs at just 5 and over. So in comes Ankit Shah to bowl this 14th over, and maybe, just maybe, the final over of the game as well. Just the 8 more needed, and Neil Parekh on strike. He would be wanting to do it in a couple of hits. Only one fielder out there on the, in fact two, a long off and a deep extra cover, and no one behind square on this leg side once again. So he would be wanting to continue to bowl that line outside the off stump. Ankit Shah, and this time charging down the wicket, and once again straight to the fielder. So a couple of dots to start with. The score at the moment stuck at 122 for 2. He's itching to go here, Neil Parekh. Once again charging down the wicket, this time in the air, it stood up, chance of a catch, and he's taken it. And Neil Parekh departs anticlimactic in the end. And his third one gone, and Ankit Shah gets his man. Well, he was itching to go out here, Neil Parekh, and departs here for 65. Couldn't quite finish the game off. And it is 122 for 3 for the JNS Rangers. So in comes Ashish Khirekar at number 5. And well, the Panchveer Cricket Club wanting to push the game forward as much as they can. Ankit Shah, a wicket for him in the first 3 deliveries. And once again, he beats the batter, not quite allowing the opposition to get those runs easily. This time played back to the bowler, so 5 consecutive dots. Can he get a maiden over here for himself? A bit of a consolation out here for the Panchveer Cricket Club if he can manage to. Well, it will be a maiden wicket. Missed out on the full toss there, Ashish. And it struck the bat, it's right in front. And he's got a double maiden wicket. Would you believe it? 4 down the JNS Rangers. 122 for 4. An excellent over this by Ankit Shah. And still 8 more needed. So it will be Yogesh Balakrishna Patil to continue. Well, still 8 more needed. And can he replicate what Ankit Shah did? If he can manage to do that, maybe, just maybe, the game might be back on here. Well, still only 8 more required. And Simab Khan will flick that one away. Well, there's no one there behind square. And it's played beautifully. He knows exactly where the fielders are. He has been out there at the crease since 29 deliveries, and that was 30th delivery, and played beautifully. And now just a hit away, the JNS Rangers. But it has been an outstanding performance in this game by Simab Khan. He took those 3 wickets and now played beautifully with the bat, 36 not out of 30, standing out there till the end. So where does Yogesh bowl now? Once again, no one behind square on this leg side. A huge gap out there. It's like a gap between the wicketkeeper and the sweeper on this leg side. And he just tucks it away on the leg side to the fielder inside the circle on this leg side. Just 3 more needed. And it brings Akash Patricks on strike. Well, both of them had an excellent partnership with the ball, Akash Patricks and Seemap Khan, and now need to get these final few runs. And this time driven, and was it a bum ball? Yes, it was. The umpire not interested in giving that, but an excellent collection there by the fielder at backward point. And still 3 more required. And this time played behind square excellently, and those will be the winning runs, and they have come off the bat of Akash Patricks and the JNS Rangers. What a commanding victory this is. They win this game by 6 wickets and 32 balls to spare. It's been an outstanding performance by them, and they clinch all the points here in this JFSC TSL season number 5 game. Well, we will be back with another one for you tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.